Hello there, fellow producers! In this great tutorial we're gonna learn how to make a great sound like this. Yeah, make it growl. So here's how it works. I have a Harmor, lots of effects, effects. But we're gonna colors that, don't get confused. So here we are, we start with Harmor. So the first thing you have to do is nothing. This saw here is pretty fine, you don't have to mess anything with timbre. We don't need blur, and I have a little prism here at -2% to add a little screechiness, like a very not really noticeable, a little screech. Yeah, not much, but I still want it. Okay, so and very important thing to do here is to divide frequency by 4. We don't need higher frequencies for Growl, and here's what it sounds with higher frequencies. Yeah, not growling, we don't want that. Okay, so that's it. And what we also have to do is the tune to divide by 2. Yeah, we definitely need it. Well, it adds a little depthness to our sound. So we need that one. And another thing, a weird little thing I have here is legato enabled with 30 milliseconds. So basically I did it to within the melody. I have this weird part here. I have this note with no sound, and I'm going from Z frequencies to these frequencies. It's very important, I'll prove it. Yeah, I hope you can see the difference. And I could have made it the same thing with automating stuff here, but I did not, because within creating melody, doing stuff like that adds flexibility. You don't have to automate stuff here or make another Harmor, so that's why I did it. Okay. And another thing I have is unisons. It's for depthness of sound. Yeah, distinct difference. And as I mentioned, we don't need higher frequencies much, so I have crew low pass at 80%. Yeah, too screechy, we don't want that. So that's how it is. And I have a cube drone to add a little not constantineousness to the sound. You can see the gaps here, and without it, it sounds too constant, so basically it's to add a little not constantineousness. And that's all here, these filters. And I have phaser enabled at 100% with this much width and no speed, because I don't want these to move around. I want it static. Basically I use this phaser to cut frequencies here, here, here. I'll show you. Yeah, we don't need all of that. So I have set it at deep with all 100%. And one important thing and a bizarre thing is this EQ, like overly distorted, but it's very important here. Yeah, completely different sound. So it's like distortion here, distortion before distortion. And another thing you notice here is I have distortion enabled. So it's at default settings, as you can see. It's basically at rubber, and that's all. And for depthness, again, I have a chorus we spread all the way up and mix a little low at like 22%. And that's all there. And the compression is nothing much here. I just did it before all this. To like I used to take a limiter. As you can see, not much difference here. without it and with it. So that's all with Harmor. But only with Harmor you can't get to Growl like... Yes, that's... So we need all these effects here. I'll prove that we need. Yeah, we definitely need these. Okay, so here I have basic EQs, two EQs. Basically I have high pass here, low cut, and a little high cut. That's all. There. And a very very important thing here is Maximus. It's used as like a distortion there. So I'll show how they get that one. So basically I took a Maximus with Sound Godizer preset, and I have a lower. Let's look at lower. So all the settings are nearly the same except for wave shape. So here's where distortion for lower frequencies come from. Then there's mid section. I actually reduced this, but it's still distorted. As you can see here, there's a line, and this form goes above that line. So basically I still have a distortion there, but I'm not going above it. So I distorted a little part over there. And that's all. And levels are nearly the same, except for the lower frequencies are a little lower. And that's all. And the high bands I have like really distorted at 100% gain. So basically I did that for creating the talk sound. Like, I'll show what I'm talking about. Yeah, that sound is very important here. Yeah, and I have it all merged. Yeah, it sounds weird without it, so I just made it. That's always Maximus. Master channel is the default settings of Sound Godizer A. And I have a limiter here. It's basically for side chaining. I have kick side chain from here, as you can see. Compressor from kick. And here's what settings for side chain look like. As you can see, it's doing its job very well. And even though I'm calling this down below there, the bass still sounds well because I have a very distorted wave shape over there. And this is like very important. Here it's what it sounds without it. Yeah, it's very important there. So, and before that I have the Growl. So basically this is my Growl. You can see the automation here. So I have this little thingy automated. So this is linked to the parametric EQ bandwidth 5. Here it is. If I disable the Growl, it won't growl anymore. So that's how it goes. That's always mixing of Harmor, and I have a reverb for effect. And let's have a look at it. It sounds like dead. I didn't like it, so I added a little reverb. There it is, and basically it's dry all the way down, wet all the way up, and not much they're messed around with. Basically it's default setting where it's dry all the way up and wet all the way up. So that's all here, and I have a default sound Godizers here, and this EQ is very important. Like, see, look. Yeah, there's a distinct difference. So basically the sound comes from this, and it's very important. So basically, to get the sound, you need to make either lower bass like that, add distortion, and you have to automate this part here. This is the crawling part. Add a little reverb, a little sidechain for kick, and a little mastering, and that's all. And a limiter is very, very important, because without it the kick won't sound very well. I'll show it. Yeah, too distorted and kick does not stand out. So the limiter is very important here. So I covered everything, and that's all. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned something, and thanks for watching. And if you want to see more of tutorials like this, feel free to subscribe, and have a good day.